I'm starting with this poem, The Tale of Custard the Dragon. This is a very humorous poem. It is written in the style of a ballet. Now, what is a ballet? A ballet is a song or a poem that tells a story. There are several ballets written by various poets across the world, and they generally narrate the tales of courage or heroism. Now, this poem is a humorous ballet, right? And it's a very entertaining one. It's really a very interesting one. You will enjoy reading the poem. The poem is about a dragon. The poem is about a girl named Belinda who is very fond of keeping animals at home. And she has a dog, she has a cat, she has a mouse, and she has a dragon. Now, obviously, it's a poem, but it is actually impossible to keep a dragon as a pet animal. But yes, then this girl is keeping a dragon as an animal, as a pet at her home, right? Now, a dragon is an animal which is known for its fierce look. It is very scary. It eats up all other animals or humans, right? But this dragon, initially we find the dragon is very different. It's a coward dragon who every time asks for a safe place, who asks for a safe cage where it can lie down all alone without any kind of disturbance, right? So this is something which is very peculiar of this dragon. Now let's read out the poem and let's find out what happens. As I told you, it's a ballet. It's in a story. Ballet means it's a story. We'll move on. So let's check it out. What happens? Sadakshi, please read the first stanza.
Belinda lived in a little white house with a little black kitten and a little gray mouse, and a little yellow dog and a little red wagon, and a Realio Chucho little pet dragon.
Okay, Satakshi, please mute yourself. Now I'm explaining the first stanza. Belinda lived in a little white house. Belinda was living in a little white house. She's in a white house with a little black kitten and a leg and a little gray mouse. So now the animals which are living with Belinda, we're talking about them. Belinda is living in a little white house with a black kitten, right? And a mouse and a kitten, a mouse, and a dragon, and a Realio Trulio dragon. Now, see, in this poem, you will find there are many words which are misspelled. The poet has spelled them wrong. That is basically there to create an impact on the readers, right? So, Belinda lived in a little white house with a little black kitten and a little gray mouse and a little yellow dog and a little red wagon. Wagon is kind of a small cart, right? Which is meant to travel. And Realio Trulio little pet dragon. So there are no words as Realio Trulio. It simply means in reality, in truth, she also had a little pet dragon. So Realio Trulio means reality, truth, right? I think the first stanza is clear to you. Let's move on to the second one now. I want somebody else to read it. Aditya, please read out the second stanza.
Now the name of the little black kitten was Ink, and the little grey mouse she called him Blink, and the little yellow dog was sharp as mustard, but the dragon was a coward and she called him Custard.
Yes, now the name of the little black kitten was Ink. The kitten's name was Ink, and the grey mouse was called as Blink. The yellow dog was sharp as a mustard, so the name of the dog was Mustard, right? But the dragon was a coward, and she called him Custard. So custard seems to be a very soft and a smoothie, and kind of a very delicate kind of a name. So the dragon was named as Custard, as the dragon was a coward. Now let's move on further. Please continue reading the third stanza.
Custard the dragon had big sharp teeth and spikes on the top of him and scales underneath. Mouth like a fireplace, chimney for a nose, and Relio, Trulio, daggers on his toes.
Now, Custard the dragon had big sharp teeth. Now, whenever I mean, the word dragon comes, we start visualizing, right? What kind of a animal is a dragon? What kind of a creature? A big, huge one with very sharp front teeth and spikes on top of him. There's spikes on top of him, that sharp spikes, and scales underneath. There's scales underneath his body. His mouth is red like a fireplace and chimney for a nose. And nose seems to be like a chimney, just like a chimney is hot, very hot. Similarly, his nose seems to be like a chimney, and Relio Trulio daggers on his toes. And in reality, in truth, he had daggers on his toes, means his toes were sharp like daggers. Toes are sharp like daggers. Now, in this poem, you will find a lot of figures of speech used. The poet has used a lot of figures of speech here. Just like here, you will find mouth like a fireplace. Can anyone tell me where a comparison is made using the words like or as? Which is the figure of speech used here?
Simile.
Simile.
Yes, correct. Simile here. So mouth like a fireplace, chimney for a nose. Chimney for a nose is we can somewhere call it like a metaphor, but mouth like a fireplace is a simile here. Now Belinda was, I'm reading out the next stanza here. Belinda was as brave as a barrel full of beers. Now Belinda, the girl herself, she was as brave as a group of beers. So barrel full of beers, we find it is used as a collective noun here. And ink and blink chased lines down the stairs. Ink and blink means the cat and the mouse, they were so brave that they used to chase the lions. They used to run after the lions. So Mustard was as brave as a tiger in a rage. The Mustard, the dog, was as brave as an angry tiger. Tiger in a rage as an angry tiger. Mustard, the dog, was as brave as an angry tiger. But Custard cried for a nice safe cage. But this dragon, Custard, whose name was Custard, it was such a coward creature that it every time cried for a nice safe cage where it can sit safely. Am I clear till this point?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
Let me move on further. I want someone else to read out the next stanza. Please read the next stanza.
Belinda tickled him, she tickled him, unmerciful, ink, blink, and mustard. They rudely called him Percival. They all sat laughing in the little red wagon at the Relio Trulio cowardly dragon.
Now Belinda tickled him. Belinda did tickled him. You understand the meaning of the tickling? Like something like your fingers are moved in that manner that the person starts giggling. So that is tickling. So Belinda tickled him and she tickled him unmerciful. Ink, Blink, and Mustard, they rudely called him Percival. So Ink, Blink, and Mustard, all these animals, they teased the dragon and they gave him the name of Percival. They all sat laughing in the little red wagon, and they all sat in the little red wagon, the little red cart. They all sat while they were mocking at the dragon, at the Riolio Trulio cowardly dragon. Please move on further.
Belinda giggled till she shook the house, and Blink said, "Wake," which is giggling for a mouse. Ink and Mustard rudely asked his age, when Custard cried for a nice safe cage.
Now, Belinda giggled till she shook the house. Belinda also, when the dragon used to cry for a nice safe cage, Belinda giggled and she giggled so much that she shook the entire house. And the Blink said weak, which is giggling for a mouse. So the mouse also giggled in its own language, and so did the cat also. Now, the ink and the mustard, the ink and the mustard, the dog, they in a very rude tone, they asked the custard's age. They questioned the custard, what's your age? When the custard asked for a nice safe cage, they mocked at him by asking him his age. When the custard cried for a nice safe cage. Please continue further.
Suddenly, they heard a nasty sound, and Mustard growled and they all looked around. Meouch, cried Ink, and oh, cried Belinda, for there was a pirate climbing in the window.
Now, suddenly, they heard a nasty sound. They heard an unpleasant sound coming from somewhere. And Mustard growled. Mustard the dog, it growled, and they all looked around from where that unpleasant sound was coming. Meow cried Ink, and Oop cried Belinda. So they were scared. So they gave that kind of sounds. For there was a pirate climbing in the window. As a pirate had entered into their house, climbing in the window. In the beginning itself, I told you here you will find Ogden Nash using a lot of misspelled words to create that impact, to make the poem more humorous. So here, window is for the word window. So they find there was a pirate entering into their house through a window. Please read it out further.
Pistol in his left hand, pistol in his right, and he held in his teeth a cutlass bright. His beard was black, one leg was wood. It was clear that the pirate meant no good.
Now, pistol in his left hand and pistol in his right, and he held in his teeth a cutlass bright. Cutlass bright is an artificial teeth which he was having. So he had pistols in both his hands. His beard was black, and his one leg was of wood. It was clear that the pirate meant no good. Means it was clear that the pirate had entered in their house with none of the good intentions. He was there to harm them. He was there to rob them. There was some sort of bad intentions he had in his mind. So they were now the animals, along with the girl Belinda. They were all really very scared. Please read the next stanza.
Belinda paled and she cried, "Help, help!" But Mustard fled with a terrified yelp. Ink trickled down to the bottom of the household, and little Mouse Blink strategically mouse hold.
Now let's see how do these animals react. Belinda paled and she cried, "Help, help." Belinda was pale, all pale because she was really scared. But Mustard felt with a terrified yelp. But the dog Mustard, it ran away with a terrifying yelp, with a terrifying cry. Ink trickled down to the bottom of the household. So Ink, the cat, she ran away to the bottom of the household where the household goods were kept. She hid herself there. And little mouse Blink, and the mouse Blink, it strategically mouse hold. Mouse lives in a hole, so it ran away, and it went into its hole. So in all these animals who were very brave, the cat and the mouse, the Ink and Blink, they used to chase the lions down the stairs. Now they have also, the cat has gone to the bottom of the household, and the mouse has gone into the mouse hole. And the dog who used to, you can say, was as brave as a tiger in a rage. Now that mustard dog has also ran away with that terrifying sound. Please read the next stanza.
But up jumped Custard, snorting like an engine, clashed his tail like irons in a dugan, with a clatter and a
Dungeon.
clank and a juggling squirm. He went at the pirate like a robin at a worm.
Right, but up jumped Custard. Now, when all the other animals had ran away, they were scared of the pirate. Custard jumped up, snorting like an engine. It gave that snorting sound which is emitted out of an engine when it starts. Right, so the custard jumps up like an engine. He clashed his tail like irons in a dungeon. Just like when iron is clashed in a dungeon, in an iron mill, in a dungeon where the iron, where the work with the iron is done. So he clashed his tail just like irons in dungeon, with a clatter and a clank and a jangling squirm. So all these you can see there are sound words used here: clatter, clank, and jangling squirm. These are the sound words used. So you can imagine you can visualize what scene it was created. It was all the dragon had jumped up all of a sudden. It was giving that engine snorting sound. There was clatter chang. It wagged its tail. It clashed its tail like irons in a dungeon. And he went at the pirate like a robin at a worm. Robin is a bird, right? A bird pounces upon a worm. birds eat worms, so they pounce whenever they see a worm, they pounce upon it. So he went at the pirate. So the custard, the dragon, he went close to the pirate, and like a robin at a worm, he just went at him like a robin at the worm, because he would eat him up, right? So it's in the similar manner, just like a robin bird goes to the worm to eat it up, similarly, the dragon custard, he went to the pirate to eat him up. Now, you can see a lot of sound words used here. So, which is the figure of speech used here?
Simile.
No, sound word is not a simile. See, the last line, he went at the pirate like a robin at a worm, that is a simile. But in the third line, clatter, clank, and jangling squirm, what is the sound word?
Onomatopoeia.
It's
Onomatopoeia.
onomatopoeia. Yes, the figure of speech used here is onomatopoeia. In this stanza, it's full of figures of speech. The first line, but up jump custard snorting like an engine, is a simile. Clashed all his tails like irons in a dungeon is again a simile. Like with a clatter, clank, and a jangling squirm is onomatopoeia. And he went at the pirate like robin at a worm is again simile. Okay, let's come on to the next stanza. Please read the last one.
The pirate
Last of this
gaped
page.
at Belinda's dragon and gulped some grog from his pocket flagon. He fired 2 bullets, but they didn't hit, and Custard gobbled him every bit.
Now the pirate gaped at Belinda's dragon. Now the pirate looked at Belinda's dragon and gulped some grog from his pocket flagon. He took out something from his pocket and he gulped it. He fired 2 bullets. The pirate fired 2 bullets at them, but they didn't at the dragon, but they didn't hit the dragon. And Custard the dragon gobbled him every bit. Gobbled is eating something greedily, that is gobbling. So, but the Custard the dragon, he gobbled every bit of the pirate. Means the pirate was eaten up by the dragon, and now all of them were safe. Am I clear till this point? Right. Now we are left with the last page that we are going to cover up tomorrow. We can stop here. Aditya, we can stop here, dear.